Welcome back to our channel, Coin Enthusiasts. Today we have something truly special for you. We're diving into the fascinating world of ultra-rare Jefferson nickels. These 5-cent pieces aren't just pocket change, they are treasures that can fetch big bucks in today's collector market. So if you're a coin collector or just someone interested in the rarest of the rare, stay tuned as we explore the top trend ultra-rare Jefferson nickels and their impressive values. First up, we're spotlighting a truly unique piece, the Monticello Jefferson nickel, specifically from 1953, with D mint mark, featuring an unusual black shade and in very fine condition. Let's get into it. The 1953 with D Monticello Jefferson nickel. As you can see, it's got a distinctive black shade that sets it apart from typical nickels. First, let's delve into some history. The Jefferson nickel was first minted in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design, by Felix Schlag, features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, was a pivotal figure in American history. Monticello, his plantation home in Virginia, is an iconic symbol of his legacy. The 1953 with D nickel was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark. This particular year and mint mark combination is especially interesting to collectors due to its relatively lower mintage compared to other years. Now, let's talk about the black shade. This isn't a typical feature for Jefferson nickels and adds a layer of mystery and appeal. The black coloration could be due to various factors, such as exposure to certain environmental conditions or chemical reactions over time. Coins can develop unique patinas based on where they've been and what they've been exposed to. This black shade gives our 1953 D nickel a unique character, making it stand out in any collection. Grading is crucial in determining a coin's value. This 1953 with D nickel is in very fine condition, meaning it has moderate wear but retains most of its details. In numismatics, condition plays a significant role in a coin's market value. As we examine this coin, notice the clear details of Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello building. Even with some wear, the coin's features are well preserved, which is indicative of its very fine grade. Now, let's talk about market value. The 1953 with D Jefferson nickel in very fine condition, especially with this unique black shade, can fetch a decent price among collectors. As of today, these coins typically range from $300,000 depending on the specifics of their condition and the demand in the collector's market. Collectors are often willing to pay a premium for coins with unique characteristics, such as this black shade. It's not just about the monetary value but the story and rarity that the coin brings to a collection. For those of you interested in starting or expanding your coin collection, here are a few tips. Always buy from reputable dealers, keep an eye on the coin's condition, and don't hesitate to seek expert opinions on unique features like the black shade of this nickel. Next up, we're spotlighting a truly remarkable coin, the 2001 with D Monticello Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition. This coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but it holds significant value in today's collector market. So, let's get started. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, it features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his beloved Monticello home on the reverse. The 2001 with D version, minted in Denver, is especially interesting for collectors. First, let's talk about what makes a coin extra fine. An extra fine or XF coin shows very little wear and retains much of its original mint luster. On our 2001 with D Jefferson nickel, you can still see sharp details in Jefferson's hair and Monticello's architectural features. Notice the clear lines and minimal wear on Jefferson's face and coat. On the reverse, Monticello's columns and dome are well defined, with just slight wear on the highest points. The D mint mark, indicating the Denver mint, is also clearly visible. Now, on to the part you've been waiting for, the value of this coin in today's market. As of today, the value of a 2001 with D Monticello Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition can range from $100,000, depending on the buyer and the coin's specific qualities. Values can vary based on where you sell your coin, especially if the coin is part of a well-curated collection. So, what makes this coin valuable? Firstly, its condition. Coins in extra fine condition are more desirable because they show less wear and have sharper details. Secondly, demand among collectors. Jefferson nickels, particularly those from specific years and mints, are sought after by enthusiasts. Additionally, the historical significance of Thomas Jefferson and Monticello adds to the coin's appeal. Jefferson, the third president of the United States, was a pivotal figure in American history. Monticello, his Virginia plantation home, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a symbol of American architectural heritage. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, the 2001 with D Monticello Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition is a fantastic addition to your collection. Not only does it hold monetary value, but it also represents a piece of American history. Remember, when collecting coins, always handle them with care, use gloves, and store them in protective holders to maintain their condition. And if you're looking to buy or sell, do your research to get the best value. Next up, specifically the 1986 with D version in very fine condition. This coin might be small in size, but it carries a significant value in today's collector market. So let's explore what makes this nickel special and how much it is worth today. The Jefferson nickel, featuring the Monticello on the reverse side, has been a staple in American currency since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin pays tribute to Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The obverse side of the coin showcases Jefferson's profile, while the reverse displays his iconic Virginia home, Monticello. The 1986 with D. Jefferson nickel was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark. In 1986, over 421 million of these nickels were produced, but making it a not common coin in circulation. However, coins in very fine condition are a different story. Let's discuss what very fine condition means. A coin in very fine condition VF20 to VF35 shows moderate wear on the highest points of the design. For the 1986 with D. Jefferson nickel, this means you can still see most of the details on Jefferson's face and Monticello, although some of the finer features may be worn down. The coin's overall appearance remains attractive, with a decent amount of original mint luster still visible. Now let's talk about the current market value of the 1986 with D. Jefferson nickel in very fine condition. While it's not the rarest of nickels, its value can still surprise you, especially if you have a well-preserved specimen. As of today, a 1986 with D. Jefferson nickel in very fine condition is valued between $150,000. While this may seem like a fortune, it's important to remember that the value can fluctuate based on demand, coin shows, and online auctions. Additionally, higher-grade versions of the 1986 with D nickel, such as those in uncirculated or mint state condition, can fetch higher prices. For those of you new to coin collecting, you might wonder why collectors are interested in such a common coin. The answer lies in the joy of completing a collection, the thrill of finding well-preserved pieces, and the historical significance each coin carries. The 1986 with D. Jefferson nickel is a piece of American history, and owning one is like holding a small part of the past in your hands. Building a collection of Jefferson nickels can be a rewarding hobby. Whether you're hunting through pocket change, visiting coin shops, or attending coin shows, each find adds to your journey as a numismatist. In conclusion, while the 1986 with D. Jefferson nickel may not be the most valuable coin in your collection, its historical significance and the satisfaction of finding one in very fine condition make it a worthy addition. Keep an eye out for these treasures, and who knows, you might just stumble upon a higher-grade gem that could boost its value. Next up, we're diving deep into a fascinating coin from the past, the 1940 Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark. This coin, in very fine condition, holds a special place in many collectors' hearts and has a surprising market value today. So, let's get started. Before we talk about its value, let's take a quick journey back to 1940. The Jefferson nickel, also known as the Monticello nickel, was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The coin was designed by Felix Schlag and features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse front and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. The 1940 Jefferson nickel was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia No mint mark, Denver D mint mark, and San Francisco S mint mark. Focus on the S mint mark version, which was minted in San Francisco. The 1940 with S Jefferson nickel is particularly sought after by collectors for a few reasons. First, the S mint mark indicates that it was produced in San Francisco, which generally had lower mintages compared to Philadelphia and Denver. In 1940, approximately 39.6 million nickels were minted in San Francisco, but in the coin collecting world, it's relatively modest, making this coin a bit more special. In very fine VF condition, the coin shows moderate wear, but major details are still clear and sharp. This condition is often desirable for collectors because it balances affordability and decent preservation of the coin's design. Now, let's get to the exciting part: the market value of the 1940 with S Jefferson nickel in very fine condition. Coin values can fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and condition, but as of today, a 1940 with S Jefferson nickel in very fine condition typically ranges from $350,000. This might not sound like a fortune, but considering it's a 5-cent coin, that's a significant increase in value. For those looking for an even higher value, coins in uncirculated or mint state conditions can fetch much more, sometimes reaching upwards of $20 or more, depending on the specific grade and eye appeal. If you're looking to add a 1940 with S Jefferson nickel to your collection, here are a few tips. Check the mint mark. Make sure you're getting the S mint mark, located on the reverse side to the right of Monticello. Assess the condition. Very fine condition means some wear, but with most details still sharp. Look for coins that fit this description to ensure you're paying a fair price. Buy from reputable sources. Always purchase from reputable dealers or auction sites to avoid counterfeit coins. Store properly to maintain its value. Store your coin in a cool, dry place, preferably in a coin holder or album. 1940 with S Jefferson nickel is a wonderful piece of history and a great addition to any collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, understanding the value and history behind each coin makes the hobby even more rewarding. Next up, we're diving into the history, details, and current market value of a fascinating coin, the 1964 Monticello Jefferson nickel with D mint mark in very fine condition. We're going to explore why the 1964 Jefferson nickel, particularly the one with D mint mark, is of significant interest to collectors. We'll look at its historical context, its design features, and of course its market value today. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, it features a profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Jefferson's home, Monticello, on the reverse. The 1964 nickel is especially notable as it was minted during a period of high production due to coin shortages in the United States. On the obverse, we see the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty" and the year 1964. Pay close attention to the details on Jefferson's hair and face, which are key points when assessing the coin's condition. On the reverse, we have the depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. The inscriptions include E pluribus unum Monticello 5 cents and United States of America. The D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver, is located to the right of Monticello. In very fine condition, a 1964 with D Jefferson nickel will show moderate wear but will still retain most of its details. The lines on Monticello's dome and the steps should be visible, albeit somewhat worn. This condition is crucial in determining the coin's value. Here's a quick grading guide. A very fine VF condition coin means that, although there is noticeable wear, the details are still clear. You can see the main features without any trouble. This condition often strikes a balance between affordability and collectability. Now let's talk about the current market value of the 1964 D Jefferson nickel in very fine condition. The value of any coin is influenced by its rarity, demand, and condition. But there are still factors that can enhance its value. As of today, a 1964 with D Jefferson nickel in very fine condition is valued between $230,000. While this might seem like a significant amount, it's important to remember that coins like this are often collected for their historical value and as part of a larger set. For collectors, completing a collection of Jefferson nickels from every year and mint mark can be a rewarding pursuit. Each coin tells a part of America's numismatic history, and the 1964 with D nickel is a piece of that story. Welcome back to our channel, coin enthusiasts. Next up, we're exploring a particular gem from the Jefferson nickel series, the Monticello Jefferson nickel, specifically the 1998 issue with the P mint mark in very fine condition. We'll take a closer look at its history, design, and most importantly, its current collector market value in dollars. So let's get started. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American coinage since its introduction in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the obverse features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, while the reverse showcases his famous home, Monticello. The 1998 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark was minted in Philadelphia, one of the 3 mints that produce these coins. What makes this particular coin interesting is its design and the condition it has been preserved in. The 1998 Jefferson nickel is considered rare, but finding one in very fine condition can be a delightful discovery for collectors. Let's talk about what very fine condition means. In the coin grading world, very fine refers to a coin that has moderate wear on the highest points, with most of the design details still visible. For our 1998 Jefferson nickel, this means you can still clearly see Jefferson's face, his hair details, and the architectural features of Monticello, though there will be some signs of circulation wear. So, how much is this coin worth today? The value of a coin depends on several factors, its rarity, demand, and condition being the primary ones. Even though the 1998 Jefferson nickel is not rare, coins in very fine condition can fetch a higher price compared to those in lower grades. After researching recent sales and the current market, we found that a 1998 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark in very fine condition typically sells for around $110,000. While this may seem like a big value in dollars, it's important to remember that this is a common coin and its value is more sentimental and historical rather than purely monetary. For many collectors, adding a well-preserved Jefferson nickel to their collection is about completing sets and appreciating the history each coin represents. If you have a 1998 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark, it might not make you rich, but it definitely adds value to your numismatic journey. To sum it up, while the 1998 Jefferson nickel in very fine condition might be worth a fortune, it still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Its value goes beyond just dollars and cents, it's about preserving a piece of history. Next up, we're diving into the details of the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1977 without a mint mark, particularly in very fine condition. We'll also discuss its current collector market value. So if you're a coin enthusiast or just curious about this piece of American history, stay tuned. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple in American coinage since it was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States, on the obverse, and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. Thomas Jefferson is not only known for his presidency but also for his contributions to the Declaration of Independence and his vision of American democracy. Monticello, his estate in Virginia, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a symbol of Jefferson's ingenuity and architectural prowess. Now, let's talk specifically about the 1977 Monticello Jefferson nickel. The 1977 nickel without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia. Over 563 million of these nickels were produced that year, making it a relatively common coin in terms of mintage. However, finding one in very fine condition can be a bit more challenging. The term very fine condition refers to a coin that shows moderate wear on the high points of the design but retains most of its details. For the 1977 Jefferson nickel, this means you'll still see significant details in Jefferson's hair, and the building's columns and steps will be mostly visible. When evaluating the condition of your Jefferson nickel, look for these key features: clear details in Jefferson's portrait, minimal wear on Monticello's dome and columns, and a legible date and lettering. These characteristics will help you determine if your coin is in very fine condition. So what's the current collector market value for a 1977 Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in very fine condition? While these coins are considered rare, their value can vary depending on demand and the overall condition. As of today, a 1977 Jefferson nickel in very fine condition can be valued between $190,000. While this might seem like a lot, it's important to remember that the value can increase if the coin is part of a complete set or if it has historical significance to a particular collector. If you're looking to sell your 1977 Jefferson nickel, prices can fluctuate, so it's a good idea to keep an eye on the market and consult with experts. Coin collecting is not just about the highest value but also the joy of preserving history and appreciating the artistry and craftsmanship that goes into each coin. The 1977 Monticello Jefferson nickel is a beautiful piece of American numismatic history, and having one in your collection is definitely a treasure. Next up, we're exploring the Monticello Jefferson nickel, specifically the 1992 edition with the P mint mark. If you have one of these nickels in fine condition, you might be sitting on a small treasure. Let's start with a bit of history. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938. It was designed by Felix Schlag, and the obverse features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, while the reverse showcases his famous home, Monticello. Thomas Jefferson was not just a president, he was also a founding father, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, and a visionary for American democracy. His estate, Monticello, is a symbol of his architectural genius and a landmark of American history. Now, let's talk about the specifics of the 1992 Jefferson nickel. Here are some key details: composition 75% copper and 25% nickel, weight 5.00 grams, diameter 21.2 mm, mint mark P for Philadelphia. In fine condition, the coin still retains a good amount of its original design, though it shows moderate wear on the high points. So, what makes this coin valuable today? First, it's important to understand that the value of coins depends on several factors: rarity, demand, condition, and historical significance. For a 1992 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in fine condition, the current market value can range anywhere from $135,000. While it's the rarest of nickels, its value increases if it's part of a complete collection, or if it holds sentimental value to a collector. Why do collectors seek out this specific nickel? Well, it's all about completing a series. Collectors often aim to gather each year's edition of the Jefferson nickel, and having one in fine condition from 1992 can help fill that gap. Additionally, coins from the early 1990s are starting to become more appreciated as they age, especially those from the Philadelphia Mint with its rich history of producing American coinage. If you're looking to add a 1992 Jefferson nickel to your collection or want to assess its value, here are a few tips. Make sure it has the P mark indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. Assess the condition. Look for moderate wear and well-preserved details, especially on Jefferson's portrait and Monticello. Consult a professional if you're unsure. Have it graded by a professional coin grading service to get an accurate assessment of its condition and value. And remember, the collector market can fluctuate, so stay updated with the latest trends and values. That's all for today's deep dive into the 1992 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and historical insights. Share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.